So we have been investing in formula that doesn't make any sense, because we have been investing in formula that doesn't give us any protection. Yes, we accomplish whatever we wanted to accomplish. We are in a relationship with a person we always wanted to be, or we have built a business we always dreamed of, but there is no guarantee, there is no protection that this will last forever. But yet we still invest the same formula. This is a kind of linear formula, linear solutions. There is a beginning and end to that. Like in the bank, a person or a company wants to gain or achieve some way of developing itself and needs some loan. Goes to the bank. What does the bank do? Do the due diligence and check the past, check the present, and generate a picture which we may say it's a kind of consciousness, it's certainty that this company will pay off all the debt. So on the basis of the past and present, there is a kind of certainty built, a picture, a guarantee that it will be paid off. And you see, the same we do in our life. This is the way we build our formula of life. We want to invest our funds. What do? We check the company, we check the past, we check the history, we check the portfolio, then we check the present. We also would like to know whether there is an other alternative, just in case it doesn't work, whether we can swap something or there's a solution A, B or C. And then using our intellect, we get the picture. And for one person, this picture is an Excel. For another person is the guarantee or the warranty that can get from that, the corotelior from that business. And for another person is just being totally spontaneous. There are people who feel and see and build the pictures being on spontaneous. Just I am a spontaneous person, and that is enough. So it depends on the person, of course, and depends on the correction, because every one of us has a different correction. And this is really the way we are building this formula. There is me. I know now. I see the pictures and I know this is good for me. Gives me certainty. I understand this. I feel that. I have these emotions, positive emotions, that everything will be okay. This is the formula because it's me. I understand. We have been building. And as long as we can see that and we feel that, it's good. So we proceed with whatever we want to proceed. We can, of course, say that there are some instances that we don't use this formula, that when we share, for example, or when we help people, we don't use this formula, we don't need this picture of certainty, right? So let's say we take 10% of money that we have earned so hard. What are we going to do with this 10%? Let's say we want to pass this money to a hospital or to a noble event or to a foundation that support poor people. And let's take the same 10% of money, our money, and give a shaman or give a person who is going to foretell your future but doesn't provide you with the picture. Would you be able to pay this person the same amount of money when you don't see, when you cannot build, when you don't feel this picture of certainty? You have no information, just a suggestion or advice? You see, we will not. So it means that in the first instance, when we give money to a charity or a hospital, there is a picture because we see where the money goes, what is the purpose of that, what is the cause, what is the deed. We see it. And as long as we see, there is us. So the more of us, the more of consciousness of us, even though we are sharing, it's not sharing. It shares, we only shares outside, but inside, in our consciousness, we are actually taking. So it's not easy to see, but this is how it works. So the issue lies exactly in that aspect, that the more there is me, the more there is I understand, the more we detached from 99.99% of this energy that supports us. We actually detach from non-fragmentation, from the realm that everything is possible, because we know that in spirituality there is no time, there is no past, present and future, everything is here. But the more it's me, the more I want to understand, the more I invest in that picture, I want to understand, I have the certainty, I detach. The more I detach from the realm of this intelligent energy, of this light. Now, going back to my first video presentation, I told that, and I suggested that in order to allow to use the second formula, we should look into and enter into our darkness, where we don't want to, of course, go, because we don't want to see what we are afraid of. We don't want to think about it, what we can lose, because we don't want to lose that particular realm of our life. So we are not interested going that. We have fear. So this is a kind of paradox, because in the last presentation I said we should go and we should realize, because otherwise the light, the energy will not enter that. If we don't want to enter something that we are not aware of, why we don't want to lose something. And now I'm telling you that this realization really makes that we are losing, makes that we are detaching. So that's a kind of paradox. What we are supposed to do here? You see, ego mastered that to a level that we are undoubtedly in a consciousness that we don't understand, and in a situation we don't understand how everything works. We are incapable of seeing what we are doing. We are really, our free will has been taken away. So how it really works? You see, ego wants us to realize things that we shouldn't have realized, because ego wants us to put our money, our effort, our time, our energy, sacrifice our family to build this picture. And the more we build this picture, we detach, as we say. But by building these pictures, we are actually going farther away from realization of our darkness. Because why are we building this picture? Why are we interested in building these pictures? Because it's about us, it's about our consciousness. It's about to know, to understand, to see. So the more we invest in kind of realization, the more we detach ourselves from the darkness, where we actually should get to the darkness and should see what is inside that darkness. But we don't want to do that. Therefore, we put so much energy to understand, to see how it works, only to realize that this is an illusion. And then the process starts, and again and again and again. So if we don't take responsibility for what is our darkness, the universe, as we can see in the era of Aquarius, it's shortened up the events. The event is shorter and shorter and shorter. So we will be taken by pain to a scenario we don't want to be. There is a law of cause and effect. So if we don't want to take responsibility, if we don't want to see our darkness, the universe slowly but surely will take us there. And then we will have to take responsibility for our pain. And what are we going to, or how we are going to deal with the pain? We are going to build again the same picture to give us certainty. But the certainty is smaller and smaller and smaller. So instead of, if we decided today that I want to see the darkness, I want to enter the darkness, I want to get inside the darkness, although I don't want to see what I'm afraid of, but I want to go into that, then I'm realizing that I want to take responsibility what caused this darkness. This darkness was caused by building the picture of my consciousness. You see, the darkness that we are here right now and we don't understand in our life is the effect that I had been building before, a consciousness of me. That's the darkness. That is the darkness. So if we enter the consciousness, that is the darkness, and I want to see that, oh, it was only my consciousness, it was only me, it was only this 100% of energy of me, because it's only now I understand everything. I know how to sell the product, I know how to see my future, whether I'm going to be with this relationship, happy or not, or whether I should change the job, or I know how to sell something, or I should open another franchise. I just know how it works. It's only me. So the more me inside that, the darkness is increasing. The darkness is stronger. So if I am realizing that this kind of consciousness has created that, it means I admit that, oh, there is also something else. I am giving myself a chance to send a signal, to unify it again with this intelligent energy, to say, yes, to that moment it was only my consciousness, and therefore I didn't want to see this darkness. I was adding on to this darkness. But when I enter this darkness now, and I take the responsibility, even though there is cause and effect, I have a protection now. I earn the protection. You see? In the first formula, we don't earn this protection. We just think that we do, but it's our ego. We are building to see our ego. In the second formula, we are admitting, yes, I understand. I need to first of all realize that to that point, it was only my consciousness, but not anymore. So if I realize that, and if I desire to see, oh, maybe there is something else I should think of, it's not only me, this enough to begin with, this is enough to enter, to allow, to get connected with this intelligent energy. And this is what I'm going to talk more in the next video presentations.